Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox, and it's like I'm in touch with the universe, man. They just keep feeding me stuff, which we're going to talk about today. Keeping your stuff secure. But first, cue the intro. Boom, boom, dun, 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 dun. Hello, this is Vasi. She's going to a new home, to a berserker on Tuesday, I think. And this, hey, I'm trying to introduce her and she's being shy. Come here. This is Artica, who's being beaten upon. There you go. What's up? What do you got in your mouth? Who's still available? All right. And she's a little toughy. If you hear growling, it'll be her, because she takes no stuff from Vasi. All right. Hey, you know, I've been on this kick about bug out locations, alternate bug out locations, and I told you that was going to end, and I think we're done with it for a while. And then I started kind of transitioning in my thought process to caches, right? And to caching stuff. And I talked a little bit about that here on this, venue, and I talked about it in the blog portion for the Warriors on a little bit different level also. So I'm thinking, my brain lately with y'all has been going to caching. And then today I read on the Drudge report that, and it was so outrageous, I'm actually wondering, is this fake news? But a bunch of people who have had safe deposit boxes with Bank of America are finding out that they don't. Where's my stuff? We don't know. Or their stuff shows up in a plastic bag. Somebody's gone through their safety deposit, puts it in a Ziploc and sends it to them. And they've got jewelry and coins and stuff. They either disappear or they show up broken, or some parts are missing, because people have heavy fingers when they're going through your stuff. No chain of custody going on there. Sounds very sketchy. And I know that a lot of people store very valuable things in safe deposit boxes, and some preppers do so as well because they think, hey, criminals won't get it. The chance of a criminal robbing my safe deposit box versus robbing my house, right? Safe deposit box is better. Fire protection, yada yada yada. But man, I have always told people for years, if you're a prepper and you've got anything important in your safe deposit box, bad idea, because even if they don't disappear them like Bank of America evidently has been doing, reportedly has been doing, when there's a crisis and the bank's doors lock, they're not letting you in to check your safe deposit box. And if they do, there'll probably be some type of federal agent standing there looking over your shoulder when you open it up. Maybe at that point, something that was legal that you put in there is no longer legal. I think safe deposit boxes are a bad idea. And I just talked about spies and safe deposit boxes yesterday. I think they're a bad idea. There's too much control that you don't have. You lack control. And so, another story. I had a friend who I turned to prepping, and I talk about him every now and then because I have a lot of stories that deal with him. But I convinced him to become a prepper, and he started buying a bunch of gold coins. And he had at one point, thousands and over $10,000 in gold coins. And I told him, that's good, man, because if this economy fails, that gold, that's going to be worth some money. And then he told me, well, it was being held by this company for him, but he could get it at any time. And I said, dude, that's a horrible idea to let some company hold your gold that you're buying for end of the world type stuff. I said, you'll never get it. You'll never see your gold. Take delivery of your gold now. And then he was like, well, I don't want to keep it in a safe deposit box, because at least he was thinking, if something happens, I won't be able to access it. I'm thinking, well, if you thought that, then why didn't you realize they're not going to mail it to you in the postal whatever. That was my buddy. So what do you do with all that gold? I mean, let's say you had $10,000 in Krugerrands. Where would you put them? Well, you would cache them, of course. I have a video, and if I get to a place where I can actually derp around on the internet, I'll put a link to it in the description down below. But I have a video where I made a cache tube that held silver rounds. And so you could easily put gold rounds in there also. And it's a little tube, and you could have several of them or one big one or whatever, made out of PVC pipe. And then those things are neat. You can put them anywhere. A little tube. You can stick it between the studs in your house if you're worried about fire. Although fire, you know, technically the gold's going to melt. You'll have a big nugget of gold. But you could take it and bury it very easily, either horizontally or vertically, you know, or throw it in your pond. You know, there's a million things you could do with that, and it would be very safe. I know, because I used to be some of you, the whole thought of playing with PVC is like crazy. It's like beyond you. That's what plumbers do. Here, I'm going to show you what's going on. Can you see? That's my cattails right there. And the dogs are fighting in the cattails. And that you hear, that's Arctica. Because Vasi says I'm twice as big as you and I want to dominate you. And Arctica's like, not going to happen. All right, so here's something I recommend. Stand by, I have to bend down and get it. Seen these? Because I know some people really don't want to mess with PVC. I'm here to tell you, it's super easy. And in my experience, the guys in the plumbing departments of these big stores, they actually do know what they're talking about. Watch the video if you're interested, that I'm going to put a link to. This is an ammo can. This is a real, honest-to-God ammo can. There are fakes out there. You don't want a fake. You want a real one. I bought these. There was a whole pallet of them at a hardware store. I guess, I don't know how the hardware store got them, but there's a pallet sitting in the middle of these. And then there's ones that are almost twice as wide that we call 50 caliber ammo cans. They were like $5 or $10 a piece, right? And so I bought a bunch of them. And these things are like anything else. You can't have too many of them. You really can't. If you need 4, you should buy 10 because you'll find uses for it. They are watertight. They're metal. Yes, a metal detector will find it. But they gotta be looking to find it, right? Hey, I'm talking here. They're like children. And they're waterproof. Right? And so you can bury one of these just like it is out there anywhere, and it'll be fine. If you're going to bury it super, super long term, I would clean it up and definitely paint it. And probably what I would do was paint that black stuff on it. What is that, like armor, armor hide, the stuff they put on 4-wheel drive vehicles, that stuff. You could probably put roofing tar on it. You might be able to put that black stuff they paint on foundations, you know, whatever. But I'm telling you, this can like this, you could bury it in a jungle and it would be good 5 years later, right? Now, when you buy these cans, what you want to check for, if it has writing like this on it, you know it's a real one. There's some like Indian ammo cans out there, and the handle feels chintzy, because I have some. I got them online. I don't like them. The handle feels kind of weak. This is a really solid, good handle. There's nothing weak about it. It feels robust. And these little parts look strong. They don't look weak. If you ever get a hold of an Indian or a Chinese one or something, you'll know the difference. Anyway, you open this bad boy up like this. And then, that's not what I thought we had in here. Because I was going to show you what I had in here later. What you want to look for, there's a rubber seal. Can you see that? That runs right along the edge here. You want to make sure that's intact and looks pretty good. Ammo cans have a distinct smell when you smell them. It's not a bad smell, but this is what keeps it waterproof. As an aside, you can use this thing as a pressure cooker, like for rice. If you remove this seal, just use a tool or a knife, pull the whole seal out, put your rice and water in here, then close it. Now it's not airtight, and throw it on the fire, and it's like, and steam comes out and you cook it really fast. Wilderness survival, military style. We use these cans for everything, and what I thought this can held in it, because I was going to ask you to guess, was my wife's sewing kit. She has a sewing kit in one of these because we had a can laying around. She had a bunch of sewing stuff, so she threw it in there and said, this is fine. God, I love that woman. But this one has a wind chime that I need to get fixed and hung up. I kind of like the way it looks. But it is clearly broken. So, will fix this wind chime and put it up. We were using this can to prop our door open when we wanted our door open, and so I just grabbed it to make this video. So, picture this. How many stacks of hundreds, 20s, 10s could you put in here? A bunch, right? You could probably put more money than you have in one can. And it's a small, watertight, relatively fireproof package that you can just go bloop in your flower garden, or bloop out in the middle of your yard, triangulate between the corner fence post, that big tree, and that corner of the house right here. Okay, boom, bury that thing down there, and you'll have whatever it is you were going to put in your safety deposit box that you're worried about people stealing. Nobody's going to come out in the middle of your backyard and dig it up looking for your father's coin collection, which is what I think one woman lost, right? You can get them bigger than this. This is a nice little handy size though. If you're keeping a lot of cash around your house, which you shouldn't in your house because it can get stolen, or God forbid your house could burn down or flood, and no insurance is going to replace your money for that, get something like this, or make one out of PVC, put your stuff in it, and go bury it. You can stick a gun in here too. You can stick a gun and cash in your passports. Be your little spy box, man. But yeah, you can put these anywhere, or you can store ammo in them. So there you go. Don't trust your stuff. It's all about personal responsibility, isn't it? Instead of putting the responsibility for keeping your stuff secure with a bunch of faceless strangers at the bank, why don't you take matters into your own hands? Secure your own stuff. It'll actually be safer. All right, I'll see you out there.